Hello and welcome students. We are into the 23rd video lecture of the video lecture series made on the subject of mechanics of solid, whose subject code is ME201, and the topic which we are going to discuss today is the shear force and bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam carrying uniformly varying load. I am Shri Krishna Mishra, Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. Now, before starting our lecture, first of all, let's explore the objectives of today's lecture. So, the objectives of today's lecture is we are going to understand about how to calculate the shear force at any section of simply supported beam carrying uniformly varying load. So basically we are going to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for a beam which is loaded with a uniformly varying load. Alright, second objective again is to calculate the bending moment and then after draw the bending moment diagram for simply supported beam carrying uniformly varying load. The third is we are going to solve the numericals which are based on the drawing of SFD and BMD for such a case in which there is a simply supported beam and which is loaded with a uniformly varying load. After all, the most important concept is to understand the concept of varying load. So basically this video lecture is in continuation with the previous video lectures in which I have taught you about what are different types of beam, what are different types of load, then how we calculate the shear force and bending moment, and then after how we will draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for a cantilever beam loaded with a different types of load like the point load, UDL, UVL, and now after that we have discussed about the shear force and bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam which is loaded with a point load and the uniformly distributed load. So in continuation with that, today we are going to discuss the shear force and bending moment diagram for a beam which is subjected to uniformly varying load. So first of all, let's move into the discussion and understand what is this uniformly varying load. So basically we are going to discuss simply supported beam with a triangular load varying gradually from 0 at both ends to W per unit length at the center. So this is the first case which we are going to discuss today. Among the two cases which we are going to discuss, this is the first case in which the load is in the form of a triangular. In the form of triangle. Basically in the form of triangular itself means that it is uniformly varying load. It is uniformly varying load. All right. So uniformly varying load means it is gradually increasing from 0. It is gradually increasing from 0 to maximum at the other end. All right. And it is on the both the sides. We are considering on the both ends. And the load which is given to us is W per unit length, and it is gradually increasing. In the case of uniformly distributed load, we have seen, student, that the beam was loaded in such a way that it was having a load which is equal at all the points, Right, but here in this case the load is not equal. It is varying from 0 at one end to maximum at the other end. So what we will do, in the same manner as we have solved the previous questions, in the same manner here also we will do the same thing, students. We are going to take the section and then after we are going to calculate the unbalanced force to the left or right of the section for calculating the shear force. And for the calculation of bending moment, what we are going to do, we are going to calculate the unbalanced bending moment to the left and to the right of the section. So I hope you have understood the approach which we are going to follow. And apart from that, we will also have to convert this triangular load. Into a point load which will be acting at its center of gravity. So let's move forward. Let us consider that the span of the beam AB is L, small l. And the section which we are taking, students, let this section be at a distance of a small x from one of the end, say B. And let the load which is acting, let the UVL load, varying load which is acting, be equal to W per unit length. Then what we will do, let's consider, students, a simply supported beam whose span is small l and it is carrying a triangular load. It is carrying a triangular load which is gradually varying from 0 at both ends to W per unit length at the center, as it is shown in the figure. Figure is a bit small. All right. So let this be the condition which we are going to discuss. This be the load. This is the load. Then after, so first of all, we will calculate the support reactions. How we will calculate the support reaction? So this is basically a simply supported beam AB of span L, and that is carrying a triangular load, as you can see, students, and it is varying from 0 to W per unit length. So if we want to calculate the support reaction, students, here at A and B, how we will calculate the support reaction? We all know that summation of all the vertical forces is equal to 0, and here it is uniformly varying load is symmetrical about the beam. So half of the load which is going downwards will be beared by this this reaction at A, and half will be beared by reaction at B. So in this manner, if W by T is the total load, if how we will consider whole, see, W into L is the load, W into L is the load, W into L. All right, W into L is the load, and as we know from the area of the triangle, so here the support reaction will be how much? See, we all know how we calculate the value of the load of the triangular load. It will be considered as a point load. It will be considered as a point load which will be acting at its center of gravity. So what will be the value of the point load? The value of the point load, students, we all know it will be equal to how much? On one side the load is 0, plus on the other side the load is how much? W. Bracket closed. This is we all know the formula. It is half of and what is the base length? Base length is L by 2. The base length is L by 2. So in this way, divided by how much? The base length is L by 2. So and divided by 2. So this will be equal to how much? This will be equal to 0 plus W, means WL by 4. WL by 4 will be the load due to this triangular portion, and for this triangular portion also it will be WL by 4. All right, so in this way the support reaction will be equal to WL by 4 here. All right, and WL by 4 here also in this side here. So the reactions which we have calculated is WL by 4. In short, if we write capital W in place of WL, it will be equal to W by 2. All right. W in place of WL by 2, if we write capital W, it will be W by 2 now. Now moving further, students, now we will calculate the shear force at any section X at a distance X from B. At a distance X from B, for example, if this is the section, students, if this is the section, so which is at a distance of X from B, then if shear force, how we will calculate? So for shear force, what we will do? Unbalanced force to the right of the section if we are considering. So one of the unbalanced force which is going upwards is the reaction force at B, and that is a minus. We will consider it as minus because the forces which are going upwards to the right of the sections are taken as negative. So minus RB plus WX square by L minus RB plus Wx square by L. Why? Because this Wx square by L, this has come from this UVL. This has come from this uniformly varying load section, this one, in which this particular length is of a small x, and this height will be we have to be calculating it. So W per unit length is the load. So how we will calculate? We will write it in the same way. In place of x, we will write L. In place of x, we will write L. So it will be how much? It will be written as Wx by 4. Wx by 4, or in other words, we can say Wx square by L. We will write in place of this particular UVL, Wx square by L. All right. So how we will calculate this Wx square by L? How we have calculated it? See, students, in this small portion, in this particular triangle, which I am making it here in short, in this particular triangle, if this is unknown y, all right, and this is w per unit length. So how you will calculate? If you will find since both the bigger triangle, since both students, the bigger triangle, this particular triangle, all right, and the smaller triangle which I have made with red line, both are symmetrical with each other. Therefore, the ratio of the sides will be proportional. This means that students, w divided by this y, this will be equal to how much? It will be equal to x divided by L by 2, half. X divided by L by 2. Alright, so it can be written, L by 2 can be written as 2x by L. 2x by L. So this is W upon Y. This is W upon Y. So in this way we can write, that Y is equal to how much? Y will be equal to how much? It will be equal to Wx by L. It will be equal to W x by 2wx by L will be your y. 2wx by L will be your y. All right. Now in this way, this is the value of y now. Now how we will calculate? The value of this load which is acting at its center of gravity. How we will calculate this load? So this load here, which will be considered as a point load, this UVL, which will be considered as point load, it will be equal to how much? It will be equal to half into the load value, which is on one side is 0 and on the other side it is equal to y. Y is how much? 2 into Wx divided by L. All right, and this is into the distance, half of this. So in this way you will see into x, into you will have to do x. So into x also you are doing. So in this way, how much you will get? You will get equal to Wx square by L. So that is the thing which is written here also. Wx square by L is the shear force due to this UVL. So now RB value you can put. We have already calculated the value of RB. Putting these two values, you can get this expression. Now we see that shear force is equal to minus W by 2 at B. At B, the value of shear force is minus W by 2. All right. And where x is equal to 0, and it increases in the form of a parabolic curve. This should be kept in mind, since here the load is uniformly varying load. Therefore, the curve by which we will join the value of shear force at point B and C will be a parabolic curve. All right, and therefore it increases, the shear force increases in the form of a parabolic curve to 0 at C, that is midpoint of the span, beyond which it continues again beyond C till point A. It continues to increase to W by 2 at A, where x is equal to L. So the bending diagram which you will see will be in this form. The diagram, after calculation of bending moment, we will show you the diagram. So how we will calculate the bending moment? One thing is very clear, that the bending moment at A and B, these two are the support points where the beam has been supported. So the bending moment at these 2 points, at A and at B, this will be equal to 0. Now coming at the bending moment at point C. So if you consider the right section of the beam, if you have a section placed here and you are considering the forces on the right hand side. So one of the force is your 8. All right, so 8 into 1.5. 1.5 is what? 1.5 is the distance. All right. So how we will calculate the bending moment, students? Bending moment can be now easily calculated in the same way as we have derived the equation for shear force. This is the bending moment. RB into X. RB is the reaction force at B. So RB into X, this is the weightage of this force. Then the UVL which is acting here, the weightage of this UVL will be equal to how much? It will be equal to Wx divided by L by 2. Wx divided by L by 2 into x by 2 into x by 3. All right. So in this way, this is the weightage of the UVL considered for the equation, Wx cube by 3L. This is the weightage of UVL. All right. So in this way, we have calculated the bending moment equation also. And finally, for the UVL, if you have to find the bending moment at point C, that is midpoint of the beam. So in that we can see that bending moment will be maximum because here force changes sign at this point. So how we will calculate? First of all, let's see what is the bending moment diagram for this question. So this is the bending moment diagram, students. You can see this was the load which was acting, and then after the shear force diagram, you can see the value at this end was W by 2, and again at this end was W by 2. When we are considering right, we are taking negative, and when we are considering left of the section, forces going upwards, we are taking as positive. So in this way, you can see this is the shear force diagram in front of you, and we have drawn by a parabolic line. As I have already told you, if the load is in the form of an inclined line, then in that case your shear force diagram will be a parabola. All right. Then after the value at C, you can see, is equal to 0. The value of shear force at C is equal to 0. Therefore, you will get a maximum bending moment at this point. You will get a maximum bending moment at this point. All right. So this was the concept regarding the uniformly varying load. Now we will solve an example and understand what is the how we will solve such a question. So the question is saying to you that a simply supported beam of 5 meter carries a triangular load of 30 kilonewton. We will have to draw a shear force and bending moment diagram. So the question is in this way. This is the diagram of the question, and we have to draw its shear force and bending moment diagram. So as we have seen in the while studying the concept for this particular category in which UVL is acting on the beam. So in the same manner here, in the load is given to you as, total load is given to you as 30 kilonewton. The total load itself has been given to you as 30 kilonewton. So capital W value is given to you as 30 kilonewton. Let's first of all bring that particular drawing here also. So this is the load, students. All right. This is the load. So in this load, student, in this load, what we are going to do in this load, you can see the total load is given to us is 30 kilonewton. All right. And first of all, support reaction we will calculate. It will be equal on both sides. And what will be the support reaction? That if the total load is W, half will be distributed on both the sides. Means 15 here at support at A and 15 at support at B. This means that RA is equal to RB is equal to 15 kilonewton. Now drawing the shear force diagram, shear force at A will be equal to the support reaction at A, and it will be taken as with a positive symbol because the forces on the left of the section is going upwards is considered as positive, and the forces to the right of the section going upwards will be considered as negative. All right. So according to it, we have calculated the value of shear force at A and B. Now coming to the bending moment, the bending moment diagram we will draw. It is 0. We all know that bending moment is 0 at the supports. So at A and B it will be 0, and it will be maximum where? It will be maximum where the shear force changes the sign. So it is clearly visible that at this center point the shear force will change the sign. So you will have maximum bending moment at this location. You will have maximum bending moment at this particular location. How we will calculate the maximum bending moment? So if the total load is W, we will calculate the maximum bending moment as WL by 6. W is your 30 given here, and L is the total length. L is the total length, which is 5. So W into 5 means 30 into 5 divided by 6. Bending moment, maximum bending moment will be equal to 25 kilonewton meter. So after calculation of this, we can draw, now. See, bending moment at A and C are equal to 0 for bending moment at C. For A and B, the support, the point at which you have the support, at that the bending moment is equal to 0. At point C, you will have to calculate the bending moment. So how you will calculate at point C? You can take any of the side. See, one of the load reaction due to this point B is 8. All right. So 8 and into its distance. How much is the distance? The distance will be taken as 1.5, half of the distance, minus 4 into minus. Now due to this UVL is how much? UVL is 4 into 1.5 into 0.75. It will be 7.5. So in this way, when you have calculated the bending moment value, we will draw its bending moment diagram. So this is the bending moment diagram, students. You can see the bending moment shear force value at this point is 0, and you are finding the maximum value of bending moment at this point. You are finding the maximum value of bending moment at this point. So I hope this is now understood to you how we have calculated the maximum bending moment. We have calculated by this WL by 6. This has given us the value of maximum bending moment at point this C. All right. Now, students, we will consider the second case.
This call is now being recorded.
Now we will consider the second case, in which we will discuss when a simply supported beam with a gradually varying load from 0 at one end to W per unit length at the other end is there. Means here the case is that you are having only the UVL end, only on one of the sides. All right, means the situation is like this. You are going to consider the load in this way, in which the load is 0 at one end and it is maximum at the other end. Such type of loads, you all know, I have told to you in the previous video lectures, are known as uniformly varying load. All right, now how we will solve such type of questions? First of all, let's consider a beam. First of all, let's consider a simply supported beam AB, all right, of length n, and it is carrying a gradually varying load from 0 at one end to W per unit length at the other. All right, then after what we will do, then after, since the load is varying gradually from 0 at one end to W per unit length at the other, therefore the reaction A and B should have to be first calculated. So how we will calculate? For the reaction force at A and B, first of all we will find the moment about point A. So this B has a distance L, so RB into L will be equal to, now we will have to convert this UVL, into a point load. This UVL will have to be converted into a point load acting at its center of gravity. So how we will do this? For this, students, you will have to, on one side it is equal to W, on the other side the weight is 0. So 0 plus W divided by 2. All right, this will give you into L, into the total length. Half of one side it is equal to W. So it will be like this, student. Let me write so that you can understand it better. It is on one side it is equal to 0, on the other side plus it is equal to W, bracket close. So 0 plus W divided by 2. This is the value into, you will have to multiply it with X. You will have to multiply it with the length. And how much is the length? If the length is small L, write it L. So 0 plus W divided by 2 into L into 1 by 3 into L by 3 also you will have to write if you want to calculate the moment, because we are considering, students, that the whole of the point load which we are considering in place of this UVL, this is acting at center of gravity. Center of gravity, we all know, lies at a distance of L by 3, all right. So if the load is given to you, if the load, students, which you have calculated is equal to WL by 2, if the load is WL by 2, all right, so you will have to multiply this W by L by 2 with L by 3. So it will be equal to WL square by 6. So finally, if you will calculate the value of RB from this relation equal to W by 3. And the second relation we all know is that summation of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. This means that RA plus RB is equal to WL by 2. The RB you have calculated already, it is WL by 6, small WL by 6. In place of this W, capital W, if you keep this small WL by 2, because we have replaced this capital W, basically this WL by 2 is replaced by capital W. This is basically WL by 6. RB is WL by 6, and RA, how you will calculate? You will subtract this load going downwards with the RB in order to calculate the value of RA. So this we have calculated the support reaction. Then after we will calculate the shear force at any section. For example, if this is the section, students, let's omit everything and now focus on the shear force. If this is the section, students, and we have to calculate the shear force. Shear force, we all know it is the unbalanced force on any one side of the section. So consider the right side, consider this side. So what we will take, students, in this side, one load is One is this RB. All right, and it is going upwards. Upwards forces are considered as negative. So we will put a negative symbol and then write RB. Then plus Y, because the load UVL which is acting here will be considered on the downward side, and downward forces are positive. And since it is the UVL, we will convert it into a point load whose value will be equal to how we will calculate the value. It will be equal to, since the length which we will consider for its calculation will be now X, because whole section we are not considering, we are considering a small portion whose length is X. So how we will write it? It will be half of W into, on one side the load is W, so half of W into X, half of W into X into X by L, half of W into X by L. All right, so in this way it will be equal to how much? It will be equal to Wx square divided by 2L. Wx square divided by 2L. You will get this thing here. Wx square, half into W into X by L. All right, this will give you the value of the shear force at any section X. Finally, you will get the value. If you write in place of a Wx by 2, you write capital W, it will be W by 3. In this way, for shear force, equation for shear force also we have developed. Now, when we will join, students, we will join through a parabolic curve, because since the load is UVL, and I have already told you, in case of UVL load, you will join the shear force at one section with the shear force at the other section by using a parabolic curve. In this way, you will use this type of curve. All right, now in this way the bending moment at any section X at a distance X from B can be calculated. All right, so in this way we have calculated the shear force, and the bending moments can also be calculated. How we will calculate bending moment? First of all, we will have to find the equation for bending moment, and the equation for bending moment will be how much? We will have to first of all bring this diagram from here to here in order to understand this thing. This is the load which is acting, students. This is the load which is acting. So now we will have to consider a section. First of all, let the section be this, be the section. And what is the distance? We will have to consider the moment of the forces on only one side. Let the forces be, we will consider be on the right side. And the load which is acting is RB, and the distance of RB will be X. So RB into X is one of the moment through the support reaction at B, and its sense, since it is clockwise, since it is anti-clockwise to the right, so according to sign convention, we will take it positive, and the remaining will be through the moment through the point load which has been created by converting the UVL into point load. So what will be that load? It will be equal to Wx by L into X by 2. This is the load, Wx by L, Wx by L into L by 2. All right, so here in place of L, it is X, distance is X, so Wx by L into X by 2 we will write. And finally, where it will be at a distance of X by 3. It will be at a distance of X by 3. So W into X by L into X by 2 into X by 3. In this way you have calculated the equation for moment also. And now at support B, since the bending moment at A and B will be 0, because at support always the bending moment is 0, and it increases in the cubic form. All right, because as you can see, the equation is a cubic equation. All right, and the shear force changes sign at point M, where you will find the maximum value of bending moment. To find the maximum value of bending moment, put this equation of bending moment equal to 0. When you will put, you will find that X value you are finding. So X means the location of that plane where the value of shear force is equal to 0. The value of location of that plane is X is equal to L by root 3. X is equal to L by root 3. This is the location, and in this location, when you will calculate the value of moment by this equation, you will find it is equal to 0.128 into WL. In this way, we have calculated the maximum bending moment also. 0.128 into WL is the maximum bending moment, which is obtained at this point. At A and B, you have zero bending moment because these are the supports. All right. So in this way, all we have calculated. Now we will solve a numerical in order to get more understanding of this problem. What is the numerical saying to us? The intensity of loading on a simply supported beam of 6 meter span increases gradually from 800 Newton meter run at one end to 2000 Newton meter run at the other. Find the position and amount of maximum bending moment. Also draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So this is the question, students. We will have to first of all find the support reactions. What are the steps which we have to follow? Steps you all know, students. In any of the CFD and bending moment question, first step is always to calculate the support reaction. All right. First step is to calculate the support reaction. Then the second step becomes the calculation of shear force. And the third step is to calculate the bending moment. On the basis of these three values, we are going to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So first of all, we will calculate the support reaction. How we will calculate? First of all, as you can see here, the UVL is not zero at one end. So for that, you will have to split this section into two. You will have to split this section into two in this way. You will draw a horizontal line. Now the whole of this beam has been replaced by a UVL. This is the UDL first of all. This is the UDL, student. And then you have a UVL. Then you have a UVL whose value is 0 at one end to the remaining. How much is this length? This will be how much? On one end it is 800. So this means that this length will also be this from here to here. This is also 800. All right. And the remaining, how much it will be? It will be 2000 minus 800. And the remaining will be 2000 minus 800. Means how much it will be? It will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 1200. All right, the remaining one. So we have converted the whole into a UDL and a UVL. All right, UDL will be considered as a point load at its center of gravity. Center of gravity of UDL will be considered at center of its section. Means here we will consider the value of its UDL point load. And how much will be the point load? It will be 800 Newton per meter is the UDL. So 800 into, we are going to take what is the length? 6. This will be the load, point load, which will be considered acting at its center. And how much distance it will be considered from one of the end? It will be considered as 3 meter from one of the end. Similarly, if we take the UVL, then UVL will be considered as its center of gravity. And where will be the center of gravity of UVL? It will be at a distance of if from point A you are calculating, it will be L by 3. It will be L by 3 from here. L by 3. All right, it will be L by 3. And what will be the load point? What will be the value of this point load which has been created by replacing this UVL? It will be equal to, how we will calculate? It will be equal to half into, on one side it is equal to 0, on the other side it is equal to W. So half into W into what is the distance? It is equal to 6. It is equal to 6. So half into, it is equal to half into 1200 into 6. Half into 1200 into 6. This will give you the value of the UVL, which is considered to act at its center. Based on it, now we will calculate the support reaction. All right, I hope you have understood. Now, based on it, we will calculate the support reaction. Span given to us is 6 meter. UVL is 200 Newton meter, and we are splitting the weight. All right, how we are splitting the weight? Into a UDL of 800 Newton meter. All right, and a UVL which is 0 at one end, to 1200 at the other end. Total UDL will be how much? It will be 800 into 6. This is the through point. This is through UDL, and through this, how we will calculate the support reaction? Support reaction will be, since through UDL it is on the whole of the section, so half we will take. So 4800 divided by 2 will be the support reaction contribution through this UDL, and from UVL how much it will be? It will be 3600 divided by 3. 3600 divided by 3. In this way we have calculated the reactions at A and B. Now moving further, student, in this way we will draw shear force and bending moment diagram, but first of all we will have to calculate shear force at A will be equal to the reaction force, and shear force at B will be equal to the reaction force at B. Signs will be taken as per the sign convention. All right, so we have to find the value. Now in between you will find a 0 value of shear force, and we all know that wherever there is 0 value of shear force, therefore you will find the maximum value of bending moment. Or in other words, wherever the shear force changes sign, then in that case the bending moment value will be maximum. So how we will calculate it? Maximum bending moment, how we will calculate? See, this shear force at a distance x from M can be calculated like in this way. All right, this is the equation for shear force. And to find the maximum position of bending moment, what we will do? We will equate it equal to 0, because at shear force equal to 0 you will have maximum bending moment. So putting it equal to 0, you find x equal to 3.21. Now this 3.21, if we put it in the bending moment equation, if we put this 3.21 value of x in bending moment equation, we will get the value of maximum bending moment. So 6.6332 Newton meter is the bending moment at M. So if we draw the diagram now of shear force and bending moment diagram, so value of shear force at A and B we have calculated according to its sign convention. At A it will be taken as positive, and at B it is taken as negative, and it is changing its sign at this point M. Now by putting on the equation of shear force equal to 0, we have got the point where it is equal to 0. This x we have calculated, and now putting this value of x in the equation of bending moment, we can get the maximum value of bending moment, which is equal to 6331. 6331 is the maximum value of bending moment at this point. I hope you have understood this particular numerical, how we have calculated the value of bending moment. Now we will solve some multiple choice question, students. Now the multiple choice question number 1. What is the question saying to us? This is the multiple choice question number 1, students. What is the question saying to us? Hinge support offers vertical, and we all know that in case of hinge support you will get a vertical reaction as well as horizontal reaction. So option A is the correct option. Coming into MCQ number 2. What is the question saying to you? Continuous beams are, we all know that continuous beams, we can't calculate the support reactions in case of continuous beams. Therefore, they are known as statistically indeterminate beams, because their support reactions can't be calculated. So, continuous beams are basically the statistically indeterminate beams, means option B is the correct option. Coming into MCQ number 3. What is the question saying to us? A beam which extends beyond its supports can be termed as, so if a beam, if it extends beyond the support, it is known as overhanging beam. If a beam, if it extends like in this way, if a beam is this like this, and if it has supports like this, so you can see that it is having some of its parts outside the beam, means some of the part is overhanging. So such type of beams are known as overhanging beams. Option A is the correct option. Option A is the correct option. Overhanging beams, A is the correct option. So this was the MCQ number 3. Coming into MCQ number 4, student now. What is the question saying in MCQ number 4? The question is saying to you that, this is your MCQ number 4, student. The question is saying to you that hinge support offer resistance against rotation, whether it is correct or wrong. So we all know that hinge support offers resistance against rotation. This is wrong because it doesn't provide any resistance against rotation. Therefore, we can say this statement is wrong. That is false. B is the correct option. Coming into MCQ number 5, and what is the question saying? It is saying to you that find the support reactions at support A. So at this point A, support reaction, if you want to calculate, it is very easy to calculate. We will use the two conditions of equilibrium. Since total load going downward is 10 kilonewton, this means RA plus RB will be equal to 10. All right, and second equation, taking moment about point A, how much it will be? On one side it will be 4 into RB, 4 into RB, moment about point A. This particular reaction here, 4 into RB, its distance is 4, 3 plus 1, so 4 into RB. All right, and what is this particular? This is 10 into 1, so this means RB will be equal to 2.5, and since RA plus RB is equal to 10, this means that the remaining reaction at A will be equal to 7.5. So now coming into the next multiple choice question, 7.5, as you can see, it is the option number D. D is the correct option, that the reaction at support A will be how much? It will be 7.5. Coming into the next multiple choice question, this is the MCQ number 7. So what is the question saying? The question is saying to you that hinge support is called as, we all know that hinge support is also known as pin jointed support. Hinge support is also known as pin jointed support, and the hinge support are those about which the beam can rotate. Means it is fixed in such a way that it can support the load, but it can move along that support. So basically it can be considered as a pin joint. It can be considered as a pin joint. Coming into MCQ number 8th, 9th and 10th. First of all, let's discuss the MCQ number 8. What is the question saying? A simple support offers only dash reaction normal to the axis of the beam. So we all know that a simply supported beam, it only offers the vertical reaction. It only offers the vertical reaction normal to the axis of the beam. In all the options, horizontal, vertical, inclined and moment, the vertical is the only which is the correct, because there is no horizontal reaction or inclined reaction, and even there is no moment in case of simply supported beams. Simply supported beams are like this. You will have supports. We consider it that the beam is just resting at this support. The beams are just resting at these supports. Now coming into the next multiple choice question, which is the MCQ number 9. What is the question saying to us? To avoid dash stresses in beams, one end of the beam is placed on rollers. So why we use rollers in beams? Why a beam on one of the end is loaded on rollers? Why it is loaded on rollers? The reason is that, students, the reason is that due to the help of these rollers, always whenever there is an extension due to increase of heat, it will consider that extension. All right, therefore we use rollers. So in the options, the options are the compressive, pyro, temperature and tensile. We all know in order to compensate for the thermal stresses, that is temperature stresses, one of the beam is kept in rollers. So option C is the correct option. Coming into MCQ number 10, the last MCQ, students. What is the MCQ saying? The MCQ is saying that a dash support develops a support moment. So which support develops support moments? According to the options, hinge, simple, B, C is the fixed and D is the joint. In these all, the moment is only developed in the case whenever the end of the beam is fixed. Means in the case of fixed support, you will get, in case of fixed support, you will get the support moment. So support moment is obtained only in the case of fixed moment. Only in the case of fixed moment only. Means here C is the correct option. C is the correct option, students. So all the multiple choice questions I have discussed with you. I hope you have understood everything regarding the uniformly varying load, which I have discussed, along with the numericals which I have solved. So if in case you feel any problem, you can write in the suggestion box, students. Now for your solution, for your references, for your self-study, you can use some references. You can use any of the reference which you are seeing in the screen. All are very good books. You can use any books. You can use the book written by Timoshenko. He is a good writer. Then after you have a Shames writer book, written by Shames, Introduction to Solid Mechanics. Then you can use Popov's books also of written by the name Engineering Mechanics of Solid, and it is under the Prentice Hall publication. All the books are very good books. So you can consider any book, students. For today, that's enough. Thank you, students. Thank you. Thank you and have a nice day, students. Thank you.